Hello, Wendy. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
In my somewhat macabre area. Thank you for being here.
You need to get your bathroom done.
I know. This is. These are all my. This goes on my hair. This is just to rub on my skin.
Okay.
It makes me feel like a Victorian.
JokePit UK.
Could you introduce yourself to people who might not be aware of your comedy before? Like,
Hello, my name is Wendy Wason.
you do the comedy.
And I do the comedy.
You do
yeah.
the comedy.
I just chat. I kind of feel like I've got so I've got a cough sweet in my mouth. I do apologise. That's very
alright,
rude.
that's
I'm
fine.
professional. I do kind of.
Do you have a cough or are you just obsessed with sweets?
Only when people mention it.
Oh, okay.
I do have a cough. I'm getting my Edinburgh illness out the way before I get to the Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah, because it does get a bit manic when you get there, doesn't it?
It does get very manic. So I thought I'd be ahead of schedule. I'd get ill first, and then I'm flying for the rest of the month.
How is the festival going to be? Because what's your show going up this year?
My show this year is called Hotel California.
Great title.
Great title, but you don't know what it's about.
I don't know. A hotel?
My husband ended up in hospital
no.
in California,
Yeah.
and it was kind of like Fawlty Towers. And it was a bit bonkers, and I met all kinds of strange people, strange and wonderful people.
Yeah.
And then I got the fear because of what David Cameron's doing to the NHS.
Oh, I had that recently.
We're going to end up in exactly the same situation if we don't get our fingers out and start rioting.
That seems to be the only thing that we can do, doesn't it? I don't know what
He
it
just
is.
does it anyway. He's in Europe at the minute trying to pass a bill to make it illegal for any future government to challenge some of the stuff he's put in place.
It's bizarre. I was in hospital recently, for a while, and I was like,
was wrong with you?
I was paralysed. If I had, it was just a nerve thing, and then I was thinking, if I had to pay for this treatment, it would be like £3,000 a go for each.
Or $47,000 we would have run up.
That's crazy.
The number one cause of bankruptcy in America?
Healthcare.
Non-payment of medical bills.
Wow.
And did you watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, amazing. So it's a chemistry teacher who gets cancer, can't afford to pay his medical bills, so he sells drugs. In the UK, that wouldn't even go into our second series. You just gone on the NHS, you'd be fixed.
No, it's
End of show.
It is, so is that kind of what your show's about? Are we going to come out wanting to riot? Are we going to come out?
I really hope so. I'm kind of like...
I want to incite a riot, guys.
Yeah, David Cameron will come for me though. No, I'd kind of like people to sort of... Because they're doing it really quite cleverly, nobody really knows what's happening.
Yeah.
And they're breaking it all up, and they're doing sort of, don't you worry about this, it's quite complicated, we're dealing with this, we're sorting it all out.
That's their line, isn't it?
That's their line, also. And like, I found a clip of Michael Portillo on TV going, Andrew Neil was saying to Michael Portillo, so why are the Tories doing this? And he's like, well, because they believe in it.
Great.
And Andrew Neil says, well, why did they not tell us? Because they didn't believe they could win an election if they told you what you were going to do. And you're like, oh my God. So we know politicians do it, but you're not meant to say.
I think now we're in a time where everybody is so aware of how the mechanics of like the financial system or getting into politics through, not through actually stating your means. I think everyone's so aware of it, but we still do nothing. I don't think you could be more aware of it than this point in time.
Well, because it feels like there's nothing we can do. Something like 7% of people in this country have gone to private school, and 90% of the cabinet have. So you can like... They don't have the same interests or outlooks as us, and they're not worried about the NHS because they all go private.
Do you know about the subsidised bar in Parliament as well?
Yes, I've heard about this.
If you don't know about this, there's a food court in Parliament and it's subsidised by taxpayer, so it's about £2.50 for a massive meal. There was a sign recently, someone told me.
It's not so much the meal that's the issue, it's the booze. They get cheap
booze.
everything's
subsidised. Yeah, everything's subsidised. And it went up by 50p recently, I think, and there was outcry.
Did they riot? That's what we should be doing. I think we should all go on holiday to France for a couple of weeks, learn how to riot, and then come back home.
And learn French as well, that's a good thing to learn.
It's a good thing, yes. There should be a French exchange, a proper French exchange.
So
we learn how to grind the country to a halt.
We learn to cheese. I'm going to just have cheese if we go to France. I love cheese. So can you teach me how to riot when we get back?
Teach how to riot?
Yeah, because I'll just eat cheese. You guys can learn to riot, and then when we come back.
Well, you can obviously still riot on cheese because the French manage it, no problem.
Okay, great. We'll do that then. So is your show very politically minded? What are your influences, would you say?
My influence... Well, see, I'm quite sort of chatty and I'm telling funny stories, but I've got something to say at the end of it.
Great, which is great.
Which is kind of what I wang on. I kind of feel like I've got a small victory against my teacher who said, Wendy, you can't turn talking into a job. Au contraire.
I think I just have, and I've changed the world as well. Can we tell people where it's based? What time is it?
It is on at 5:15 at the Gilded Balloon every day.
That's a great venue.
It's a great venue.
It's fine. Every single day. You can go every day if you want. Do you want to eat? You don't want to eat, just go and watch the show. Any social links that we can have? Are you online? Are you on Twitter?
I'm online. I'm on Twitter. I'm Wendy_Wason. Don't follow just Wendy Wason because she's a real estate person.
Unless you love houses. Unless you love houses.
She gets a bit grumpy about the comedy stuff. She's like, can the fans of Wendy Wason
So all follow both Wendy's.
Follow both Wendy's, annoy one, and make me happy.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
JokePit, home of new comedy.